Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Savika Janor, and I am the Community Relations and Outreach Specialist for the Office of Economic and Small Business Development, known as OESBD, and also the MAP team, so the Mobility Advancement Program team. So first, I want to say thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being excited about upcoming business opportunities, projects available, and we really want to share that with you. And we're excited to have our municipalities here so you can hear it directly from them. We have Miramar, we have North Lauderdale, West Park, and Wilton Manors here to share projects that are happening in their municipalities, how you can participate on them. So we have a lot of information to share with you today. What I do want to let you know that today's session is being recorded. So you will receive a link to this recording 48 hours after we complete. So you don't have to worry about, taking notes and screenshots. We're going to share the recording with you, and we're also going to share all of the presentation slides with you. So with that, I also want to share that we're going to have the Q&A feature enabled today. So the Q&A feature is really just that, a question and answer. We want you to get as much out of today as possible. We want to share information, but we also want to be your resource as always. So please, if you have any question throughout today's presentation, just throw it in that Q&A, and we're going to get to it throughout the presentation today. We're also, as well, going to share as much information as we can. I want to be able to jump right in and start with our speakers. So our first speaker definitely is just a wealth of knowledge. He's our small business advocate and needs little introduction. So our director, Sandy Michael McDonald, welcome.
Thank you, Savika. And as Savika said, welcome. I want to welcome all of you. I want to welcome our partner cities. I want to welcome the cities who I hope are participating, though they're not demonstrating today. And certainly want to welcome all of our certified small businesses and those businesses that may be looking to get certified. We want you to recognize, and actually you can do this. Savika just shared with you. We want to make sure we can entertain your questions as well as disseminate information. So definitely for questions, use Q&A. But in that chat, definitely give us a feel for who's here today. Got 86 participants as of now, minus my 4 cities, minus my staff. That means there's about 75, 76 plus people who want to get real information. So I'm going to start off, and Savika, you can advance the next slide. I'm going to start off because we started talking about surtax in 2018, MAP, Mobility Advancement Program. We started doing workshops in 2019. And even though the interlocal agreements between the county and the cities and the projects between the county for MAP or surtax weren't on the street, we were telling folks back in July of 2019, September 2019, January of 2020, and I forgot one, November of 2019, about where we are today. So in that chat, feel comfortable saying, hey, I remember a couple of those sessions, or hey, I attended one of those sessions. The uniqueness about today's session, actual projects that are getting ready to go on the street. 2019, we were talking about projects to be considered by the county and the city to find their way to bids. Today, you will hear from cities who have projects to go on the street. Now, I get to say that because if you've been a part of my workshops, I'm always talking about connect the dots. And I definitely want to know, have you been connecting the dots and preparing yourself for today and those bids that will come after today? Again, Office of Economic Small Business Development, we are a small business focused agency, though we also work with our larger businesses, our medium-sized businesses, 31 cities and all of our chambers. We're here to be a service agency to all the county's procurement, because in case you didn't know, we have a goal, at least 25% of what the county buys. We try to buy from certified small businesses, and we're here today because the county and the oversight board has also decided that for surtax, for MAP, Mobility Advancement Program, For eligible contracts, we're looking at a 30% goal. Next slide. So to catch you up, in case you're not one of our certified firms, we flow up under our local certification programs. We have two, a local program, SBE and CBE, and we have a federal program, DBE and ACDBE. If you want to learn more about those, that's a different workshop. But if you are a small business, and if you happen to be in Broward County, and you've been in Broward County at least 1 year, if your personal net worth as an owner is 1.32 million or less, not counting your primary residence, if the revenues of your business averages 5 million or less over 3 years, or if you in the construction related field, 9 million or less over 3 years, you want to get certified. The cities as well as the county, as a part of this MAP program, what we used to call surtax program, we're looking for certified small businesses to participate. We need to grow that number of businesses. Next slide. That's who we are right now this day. 910 CBEs, SBEs, DBEs, ACDBEs. When it's all said and done, I got 910 certified firms. Don't want to confuse you. As you can imagine, some firms can be certified as a CBE and they're a DBE. I have some who are CBE and SBE. I have a few firms who are CBE, SBE, and the DBE. But when it's all said and done, if I count the firm, if I count the business one time, even if the business has 2 or 3 certifications, if I count the business one time, I have 910 certified firms. Folks, I need more certified firms when I take a look at not just surtax, not just this map, but did you know the county's getting ready to roll out in aviation, a new master plan for $3.2 billion? All of those projects will have small business goals. Did you know we're doing port deepening and widening, about $1 billion of activity? That will have a small business goal. Did you know minus COVID, Broward County procures about $1 billion of goods, materials, and services? The ordinance says at least 25% of that must be with small businesses. So when I add surtax to what we do regularly and to the new master plan and to the convention center, which has a 30% goal, along with the port, I need more small businesses. So this is a way for you to not only get certified to participate in MAP and surtax, but once you're certified, you also can participate in county procurement. Double whammy. Next slide. Firms eligibility, I've already told you about those. Again, for the MAP, which we're focusing on today, with our city partners, we're taking realistic looks. You heard me say realistic look, at trying to assure, based on eligible projects, we establish 30% goals. Next slide. This is the look and the feel of the new logo. So many of you may not have saw the old logo. You heard the little tagline that we've used since 2019, 30 for 30, and you'll see what that means in a minute. But just want to familiarize our cities. This is the new direction of the logo and for the cities. I won't steal the thunder of the MAP administration. I know the cities recognize the same logo has a special place for them, like where you see my name, that stuff comes out and we're going to have the individual cities, and the cities will also have design on the top. But again, that's between the cities and MAP. I'm just showing you the look and the feel for who we are. Next slide. Broward County's 30-year promise, folks, and we got about 27 years remaining. The whole objective is that for eligible projects, we're placing a 30% goal. It's estimated that about $355 million a year over the next 30 years. That's about 17 billion. But again, we're going to look at what's eligible for the small business 30% goal. And the best example, some of you will remember from those workshops in 2019, the best example on why I have to say eligible projects, the surtax, when the community voted, we committed that 1 penny to transportation operation, transportation services, infrastructure projects throughout the county, including the 31 cities, and the future of rail. But the reason I have to say 30% goal on eligible projects is because in those first workshops, some of you remember, I'll say, as a small business in Broward County, raise your hand if you are approved by the Department of Transportation to make buses. None of my small businesses could raise their hand. I said, okay, that's too hard. Raise your hand if you are certified by the Department of Transportation to sell buses. None of my small businesses can raise their hand. So since we know the penny surtax, that dollar is committed to transportation operation, transportation services, infrastructure in the county throughout the 31 cities, and the future of rail, we know some funds are going to be used to buy an actual bus. I can't place a goal on buying a bus. So that's our example. Next slide. That's our example of why we're talking about eligible projects. 30% goal for certified small business participation on eligible contracts. And what I did, I said at the end of the day, looking at all the potential opportunities, I know 2 years ago, we didn't know exactly what we were going to be purchasing. I know right now in 2021, I don't know what we're going to purchase in 2032. I get it. But we did say conservatively, if I took half that 355 million and placed the goal on half, that's still about $53 million a year we can carve out for small businesses. Folks, that's what we're looking to do as a floor. At least $53 million of opportunities a year as this program over the next 28 plus years gets going. So that's the objective. When I used to say 30 for 30, 30% goal for 30 years off of 53 million, that's what we were talking about. But just know this, we are looking at every project, county and the ones through the cities. And if we can place a goal, we are assigning a goal, but that reminds you, I gotta have enough businesses also to fulfill the services of those projects and those goals. So if you're not certified, get certified. If you are certified, engage the process. Don't be certified and sit there. Engage the process. Next slide. So map Broward projects and a process overview. The thing you need to recognize about this slide, we are working hand in hand with the cities. We don't run their procurement. We don't run their projects, but as an Office of Economic and Small Business Development, specifically surtax related, we're working to review the projects they give us. Based on those projects, we determine what that goal is, 30, 35, or 40. We submit that information back to the city along with proposed compliance language for the solicitation. That solicitation hits the street. When it comes back, the city's going to share it with us. We're going to look to make sure that the prime contractors who bid meet the compliance of the goal. And then we're going to inform the city that the bidder met the compliance. And then on behalf of the city, we're going to monitor that project, folks, every month to make sure that the prime contractor who's working that project is doing what he or she is supposed to do to utilize our small businesses. We are partners with our cities. We're supporting the cities and administering our program, and we're going to do everything that we can to assure that projects have goals, but beyond that, to be assured that those who win these contracts work with our certified businesses. Because if you work with our certified businesses, if you use our certified businesses, if you pay my certified businesses, all that helps us to achieve the goal. Next slide. So right now, what's happening? 40 projects have been reviewed for county MAP surtax opportunities. Award estimates for those projects that's been reviewed is over $281 million worth of activity that's been reviewed. You know, eligible project amounts, you know, that start talking about, hey, what portions of this is eligible to get goals? Then you see the projected CBE amounts. Right now, we're looking at over 48 million just off of those county related projects. And for the projects we reviewed, remember, we're looking at 30% goals. For the 40 projects we reviewed of the county, they're currently averaging 32%. So again, average might get higher sometimes, a little bit lower. Our objective is to make sure we do this 30 and better. But again, being realistic and open and transparent, we're only going to place realistic goals on these projects. Next slide. So other than the county, here we are, municipalities. To this day, my office has reviewed 64 projects from the cities. Not saying all of those are on the street, they're not. But the cities have been gearing up to get ready to put them on the street. That's why we're doing this workshop today. We got cities who are now ready to tell you about some of their projects. Make sure you understand their procurement process. Make sure you get a little familiarity with the scope, and then try to prepare you that when it does hit the street, you engage that process. Right now, on a 30% goal for the projects we reviewed, which is approximately 64 projects, we're averaging 34% goals on those projects. We hope all these projects come into fruition, hits the street. We hope we meet each goal. Folks, that's about 34 million and some change that can go to small businesses in Broward County just from this first 64 potential projects. And remember, this is going to be happening for the next 27 years. So if you're a small business and you hadn't thought about it, you came out of COVID and you thought about pivoting, you got enough time to consider, to incorporate, to do some homework, to get certified. And even if that took you 5 years, you still got 22 years to compete. So think about it. We're trying to share with you real opportunities for businesses to prepare. And if you happen to be certified now, and again, everything's competitive, but if you happen to be certified now and you're willing to do your homework, here's some real competitive opportunities for you as a small business. Next slide. So here are some of the projects and where they are on the map. We have this list of the number of projects we reviewed from each of the cities that's been submitted to date. As Savika said, 48 hours after today, we're going to have this entire presentation up on the website, so you'll be able to get a more familiarity with where some of the projects are, and based on who you are and where you are. Even in addition to the 4 cities that I'm presenting today, you as a small business want to begin to be strategic about the areas or the projects or the cities you want to work in, because you might not have the capacity of the staff to go after 6 or 7 bids at the same time. So you want to pay attention to where projects are, as well as the scope of the projects that best suit what you do as an industry. Next slide. Again, let's go to the Q&A. If you have questions, put them in the Q&A as the presenters are speaking, and we're certainly going to try to come back around and make sure we entertain all the questions. Next slide. And folks, this is why we're here. Municipal Spotlight. This is actually our second municipal set of spotlights. But today you're going to hear from Miramar, North Lauderdale, West Park, and Wilton Manor. And these communities are really here to tell you about their surtax projects, their MAP, Mobility Advancement Program projects, to make sure that you're familiar with who they are as a city, how they do their procurement, tell you a little bit about these scopes, tell you a little about what they're looking for. Again, as Savika said, the cities can do better than I, even though some of you remember in 2019 and early 2020, I was telling you what the cities were telling me based on the documents I reviewed. Now we're trying to make sure that we can put the cities in front of you themselves. So with that being said, we have grown since we started from 86 participants to over 114 participants. So again, these slides will be made available 48 hours after the presentations today. Certainly put your questions into the Q&A. But with that, next slide. I think they're ready for me to turn this over to the city of Miramar. And Dr. Hollis and Lee, I don't know who's going first, but either way, city of Miramar, welcome. Thanks for joining us. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Sandy. It's Karen Hollis. I will be going first. And as you said, I am joined here by my co-partner, Leah DeRio, who is the senior project engineer for the MAP projects. Good afternoon to you and your team, your amazing team, as well to all of those participants that have cared to join us this afternoon. Thank you. I'd like to begin by thanking you for the inclusion of Miramar and affording us another opportunity to expand our reach to identify businesses that are seeking contracting opportunities on our MAP projects, on the mini MAP projects that not just you all, but the city will be taking place and releasing soon. Now, as stated, I'm joined by Leah, and she will be the actual individual that will give you specific information on the MAP projects that are going to be released to ensure that you can position yourself as a business to be able to capitalize and participate on those projects. Now, I would like, before she gets started, to let you know that as a city, the city of Miramar itself is not a certifying agency. And so I'd like you to know that one of the reasons that is so imperative for us to continue to partner with our stakeholders like the county is that we rely upon their certifications. So we will be utilizing certification and certified firms on these projects. Even though we're not a certifying agency, we will be seeking firms that are certified with both the CBE and the SBE certification. Another critical reason why it is so important for you to participate and take advantage of these opportunities in these moments of collaboration where we're trying to disseminate and get as much information out to as many businesses as we can. So Leah's going to give you some information now about the specific projects. I'm going to talk to you a little more about some other collaborations that take place at the conclusion of her presentation. Take it away, Leah.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. So nice to have you here with us, and thank you, Broward County, for partnering with us to get these projects advertised and out to the community. Go ahead and advance to the next slide. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about the specific projects that we have coming up in the city of Miramar. We've got one very large project and 3 smaller ones that will be coming out by the end of the year this year. The first one of which is the Pembroke Road expansion from Southwest 160th Ave to US 27. This is in the western side of Miramar. It also incorporates Miramar Parkway extension from where it ends right now at 192nd Terrace and bends that north up to Pembroke Road. This is a design scope project. So for all my design and planning firms out there, this is for you. Construction will follow starting in fiscal year 23. So you can be on the lookout for that as well. Average cost for this one is expected to come in at roughly $5.9 million. So again, like I said, large project, and this project does have a CBE goal of 30%. So this project is going to be divided into essentially 3 subscopes. If you advance to the next slide, you'll see what those are. It's a widening from Pembroke Road, along Pembroke Road from 160th to 196th. There's an existing 2-lane typical section out there now. We're going to be taking that and redesigning it to be a 4-lane divided. It'll also have some traffic signal design components to it, adjustment or modifications of the existing signals that are within that section. There is also a second segment, segment B, that runs along Pembroke Road from 196 to US 27. This one is going to be a new 4-lane divided roadway. It also has a bridge over a South Broward Drainage District canal that's there along 196th Ave. And it will also have a traffic signal component to it, because that will be where the intersection of Miramar Parkway comes up and forms that new intersection right there. And then there's the Miramar Parkway segment. This will not be a 4-lane typical section. This will be a 2-lane typical section. All of these segments will have landscaping, irrigation, noise walls and lighting if they're warranted, sound wall where it's warranted, signing of pavement, and buffered bike lanes. Like I said, this contract does have a 30% CBE goal. So for those smaller design firms out there, this is a great one to partner up either with a larger firm or go after it as a prime yourself. Next slide. The second project that we have, I'm sorry. Before I go into that, here you can see the different segments. 160th Ave is over on the right-hand side of your screen. US 27 is over on the left. And you see those 3 separate segments. These segments will be let independently when it comes to construction, and hence the reason that we're specifying them as 3 different subscopes for the design project. The design project is going to be let, all of those are part of that, a single design project. All right, go ahead, next slide. The second project that we have coming out for you at the end of this year is the bus shelter improvement project. This is going to be citywide. It's estimated to max project value of $144,000, and it's 12 permanent bus shelters at various locations throughout the city. It's going to be a large bus shelter design and a small bus shelter design. And those will be kind of the templates that we'll use in those 12 different locations. This has a 0% CVE goal because the project estimate is on the low side. It's less than 250,000, but that does not mean that we don't want CVE and SBE firms to participate. We want you guys to seek inclusion in this project. So go ahead, next slide. The third project that we have coming out is a planning scope project for a Pembroke Road bike lane from Island Drive to State Road 7. This is to develop and analyze conceptual design alternatives for buffered bike lanes, both on the north side and the south side of Pembroke Road through that area. So this one will also come out by the end of this year. And same deal with the CVE and SBE. Although there's no CVE, SBE goal on this project, we would encourage you guys to still continue to pursue this job. And unlike the other two, this is, again, a planning scope project, not design or construction. And then the fourth project that we have coming out, go ahead to the next slide, is the Pembroke Road buffered bike lane from Palm Avenue to Douglas Road. This is a little larger in scope. This is a design scope project. Again, 0% CVE, SBE goal, but we encourage you guys to continue to participate or to team with somebody. And this will be, like I said, buffer bike lanes on both the north and south sides of Pembroke Road from Palm Avenue to Douglas. So that's the long and short of the 4 projects that we have coming out for you guys by the end of this year. And if you have any technical questions, feel free to contact me. We also have contacts up here on the next slide for our procurement department as well. And then I think, Karen, did you want to add any final notes here?
Well, the only thing we wanted to conclude with to let you know, along with our external partners like Broward County, the City of Miramar, and these MAP initiatives, we've also developed an internal team. And we want you to know that we're providing you all of the information of our internal team. It includes Leah from engineer, myself with the minority participation aspect of it, and then the procurement department, we have Ms. Brenda Martin. So when and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us. We would just respectfully ask that you, for your engineering questions, you submit them to Leah. For any procurement questions, when those solicitations are released, please be sure to send those directly to Brenda Martin in the procurement group. And for any and all questions that do not fall within either of those categories, feel free to reach out to me and I will be sure to go above and beyond the call of duty to ensure that I get an answer back to you. Thank you also very much. We also wanted to provide you with the process to become a registered vendor with the City of Miramar, because that is a requirement to do work with the city. That's actually the first step to doing business with the City of Miramar. And so we provided you with a link that will allow you to very easily go on to become a registered vendor with the City of Miramar. And we also provided you with the link to the Demand Star, because that is how you will be able to download all of the solicitations that are going to be released on the various MAP projects throughout our city. Thank you again so very much for taking the time to join us and to participate in these sessions, because this is the way that you will definitely be able to gain the information you need to position your business to be successful on these MAP projects. Thank you again, Sandy and Savike, for including the City of Miramar. We greatly appreciate your partnership as well as your support throughout this process.
Karen and Leah, I want to thank you and thank the City of Miramar for participating. Thanks for participating in MAP and surtax, and certainly thanks for introducing some of these opportunities. Please feel free, Karen and Leah, to go into the Q&A. There might be some specific questions that you can answer. Myself and staff will certainly be trying to answer some of the others. And there's another time towards the end that we'll probably do some out loud, but anything you can answer will certainly be helpful to our participants. So as we move on, the next city of North Lauderdale. I want to thank you for joining us. I got one Andrew, I got two Andrews. So I got two Andrews that's going to be speaking today. Gentlemen, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Sandy and team. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. This is Andrew Disbury of the City of North Lauderdale. I'm planner in the Community Development Department. We have the team here. Our project manager contact is Kanya. as you can see there, with our Matt Broward project management, Andrew Rozwadowski is our purchasing contract manager regarding any procurement questions today. We can get to that for you. We are on Demand Star, as well as you see the link in the presentation there for our solicitations. We have 3 projects today slated, for one for construction and 2 for design, and then these are already programmed for construction funds later on in the fiscal year funding process with the MAP program. Next slide, please. Our project that we have the construction funds for here. This is our first project today at Kimberly Boulevard East. This runs from Rock Island Road to State Road 7, 441. And we have a CBE goal of 40% on this. We're looking to get started on this as soon as possible. We actually already have the signed ILA with the county on this. The scope includes some pavement, some lane reduction work, concrete sidewalk expansion and renewal. And then this is in our one of our overlay districts, so we look for that on some lighting, pedestrian lighting enhancements as always. And in addition to that, there will be some demo work and some site clearing and earthwork that gets done. So that's our first project, and again, this is looking to start with this this quarter as soon as possible. And you see this is about a $2 million project, and again, we are not a certified entity, but we do have a prime on this that is looking to and can meet that 40% goal. So looking forward to working with you all. Next slide.
Andrew, I just want to add, yeah, so this one's actually going on the street this weekend. So look for it on Monday. It'll be up on Demand Star, as he said originally. And how you register for our projects is actually through Demand Star. So there's no internal registration you have to do on our website or anything like that, just through Demand Star. And like I said, it'll be published by 12 p.m. Monday. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. Next slide. Okay, our second project, this is for design. This is our Tam O'Shanter roadway improvements. This is along Tam O'Shanter and 81st Avenue, and this goes all the way down from 81st to Rock Island Road is the scope of this project. This incorporates some roundabouts. This is one that I'm passionate about because it connects to my bike lanes out on 81st, and then the C14 Canal Greenway that we're lucky enough to have a portion of on the city. So there's 3 different locations for roundabouts here. Tam O'Shanter, 5th Street, which is Forest Boulevard, and then right there at 81st. So the scope of this one, again, very similar to the Kimberly roadway project. We're going to be introducing some bike lanes, some raised bike lanes, and some wider sidewalks too, and some ADA improvements in there. And this is addressing a lot of traffic calming going on here, addressing some speeding and other safety concerns. And this is a 30% goal on this one. Next slide, please. Last project we have, this is design as well, the Boulevard of Champions traffic calming project. This is a unique road. It's actually sort of an oval and it is heavily vegetated at the moment. In order for us to do this, it's gonna, there's a lot of vegetation that needs to be cleared out and reworked there. So that's a big part of this job, as well as, again, you have the pavement contractors involved. Gonna do some sidewalks as well, irrigation, swale rehab, things of that nature.
Landscape.
Yes, landscaping, as well as removal of landscaping. And then we have some pedestrian, some signalization going in too, because there's an opportunity for some of that here. So this is a very multifaceted project and a much needed project. And this one is in design. It has an estimated cost tag on it of $3 million, which we hope to move to construction soon. And there you see, again, we're looking to get this design started as soon as possible within the second quarter of fiscal year 2021, and just got the ILAs back. So looking forward to get started soon. Next slide, please.
And that was it, I think, Andrew.
Yep. Thank you all.
And Andrew, for the project that you mentioned that is coming out and it should be out on Monday, is there any requirements? Is this a pre-bid meeting as well?
Yeah, I can go over that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it's a pre-bid, yes.
And the pre-bid is going to be on.
And it's for this project, correct? For
Yes, it's
Kimberly? Okay.
It's going to be on June 9th, 2021, 10 a.m. It's going to be held in the city's commission chambers, 701 Southwest 71st Avenue, North Lauderdale, Florida, 33068. It's all going to be in the bid documents as well for anybody that is interested in the project. And we definitely hope to see you out there, and we look forward to your bids.
Awesome. I've put your contact information as well in our chat right now. So attendees, feel free to take that information down, but you'll also be provided with it. I think next we are going to go to the city of West Park. So I believe we have Daniel on the line. Go right ahead, Dan.
Thank you, Savika. Good afternoon, and thank you to all the attendees for coming. The city of West Park is proud to announce we have 4 projects listed that's going to be coming up for bid pretty soon. 1 construction and 3 design. Next slide. And in this construction project, Southwest 25th Street, it is a complete street project where we will be, it's a complete street project along the corridor of Southwest 25th Street from State Road 7 to the west to Southwest 40th Avenue to the east. Work will be performed both in residential and commercial industrial areas. The roadway is a 1.5-mile roadway. Main project elements include pavement, milling and resurfacing, drainage, concrete, sidewalk repairs and upgrades, signage and pavement marking. The project consists of a 40% Broward County Certified Business Enterprise goal. We're very proud of that and look forward to reaching that goal. The city will be soliciting contractors to provide services for all the previously mentioned project elements. Specific specialty areas, the intent is to have the construction for this project on the way in the 4th quarter of this fiscal year. So we're looking at the next few months to have this bid out open. You're gonna notice the advertisement out on the Demand Star, the city website, and we encourage you to reach out to the city and anyone else if you want to get more information about this project. But again, this is our one sole construction project, Southwest 25th Street. The next slide that I'll be going ahead and talking about is our design projects that we're looking to get a consulting engineering firm to come in. So I'm going to on 2nd Southwest 48th Avenue. All right, and that project is also a complete street project. But again, keep in mind, this is not construction, this is for design, where the street improvement project will be on Southwest 40th Avenue from County Line Road to the south to Pembroke Road to the north. The 1.5 roadway will also include roadway milling and resurfacing, pavement construction, drainage, ADA compliant sidewalks, concrete curbing, bike lanes, signage, and pavement markings. And this roadway is also all residential. You will get no commercial as abutting this roadway. The city will be soliciting the services for engineering consulting to provide the necessary civil engineering design, surveying, permitting, coordinating, and also bidding efforts for the project once we do place the project out to bid for construction. This project does include a 30% CBE goal, and we are very excited and encouraged in meeting that 30% goal. Our next two projects, next slide. Our next two projects are also design projects, but while they do not have a CBE goal assigned to them, we still encourage vendors and anyone participating, encouraged to still try to meet that CBE goal. But however, so our next project is Southwest 21st Street Complete Street Project. This is also a design project. This is a complete street project from State Road 7 to Southwest 40th Avenue, 40 Avenue. The improvement will include roadway milling and resurfacing, ADA compliant sidewalk repairs, bike lanes, and signing and pavement markings. We also will be soliciting services for an engineering consultant to provide necessary civil engineering design, surveying, permitting, coordinating, bidding efforts for the project. And again, I want to repeat, while there is no CBE goal assigned to the project, we do encourage interested firms and consultants to still meet that threshold. And our third and final, third design, but fourth and final project is State Road 7 pedestrian lighting project. This design of pedestrian lighting along the east side road of State Road 7 from County Line Road to the south to Pembroke Road to the north. This consultant, once elected, shall provide the proposed design for the installation of 42 street lights along the east side of State Road 7, just the east side only, not the west side. And our neighboring city, city of Miramar is on this call, but that's that city of Miramar. Our side is on the east side of State Road 7. Okay, and then we want this lighting system to be installed by FP&L, but the intent of the lighting upgrade is to improve safety and visibility along the east corridor. I must also add, before I end this, while this project does not have a CB goal attached to it, we still encourage vendors to still meet these goals and encourage local business to get involved. Here in the city of West Park, we do have a local preface ordinance in place that will be as part of the bid. Okay, so if there's any, that's an additional influence for you to get in, and encouragement to get in and get involved with these projects. Again, City of West Park, we have 4 projects, 1 construction, 3 for design. Very excited, and we're encouraging all to get involved. We want to connect mobility, advance transportation, and continue this on. So we thank you again, and if you have any questions, please let us know.
City of West Park, we want to thank you for sharing that information. Thank you for those details. And you, City of West Park, as well as North Lauderdale. I also want to thank you for that reminder, reminding our certified small businesses, even when the project doesn't have a goal, because the goal may have been under the threshold, or the dollar value, I'm sorry, is under the threshold. This is another reason for certified firms to go after the project. It may not. Again, it may not have a goal. The project may not have a goal, but you've heard North Lauderdale say it. You heard West Park say it. Even without a goal, we encourage the CBE to go after it. So let's think about that. It's a good thing to be a subcontractor based on a prime winning, and you can provide that 10, 20, or 30%. It's another thing that if there's no goal, go after that entire contract. It's also another thing when that project is in your capacity. So again, it might be a $2 or $3 million contract with a 30% goal. It's great if you can help the prime fulfill that 30% as a certified firm. But I want some of my CBEs to ask themselves, if it's a $2 or $3 million contract? Can you provide that service? Can you put the team together to provide that service? So it's good to go sign on with somebody as their sub, but why would you not go after that entire contract if you have that capacity? And in case you didn't know, you can win that contract. You could fulfill the goal yourself. That's part of my current program. And then you can fulfill the remainder, or you can have someone else do the remainder. Remember, you too can be the prime contractor. You can control a project if it's within your capacity and if it's within your skill set. So please keep that in mind. So again, thank you, West Park, for sharing that information. And next, we're going to move on to Wilton Manors. And we got Todd and Darren who's going to come and share more about their projects, about their program, and what you also heard earlier. It's important to know the bid portals. What procurement portals are the cities using? That's going to be key. Wilton Manors, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome everyone. My name is Todd DeJesus. I'm the Capital Projects Administrator for the city. Darren Jerem is with us as well. He'll cover the purchasing section at the end. We may be tiny, but we have more projects than any other city, so I'll try and go through them fairly quickly. We have 8. So let's go to the next slide. We have 3 construction projects. This is one of them on Wilton Drive. Our main thoroughfare in the city is a landscaping and irrigation project. So the entire half a mile roadway has a landscaping plan that's been finalized, and we're also adding irrigation, all within the right of way. It's a 30% CBE goal. This is probably the first one that will be going out to bid. We're hoping to get the ILA with the county within the next 4 to 5 weeks. All of our projects actually are in this, almost in the same category where we're working with the county. We're hoping to have ILAs for all 8 within the next 6 weeks. And this is from the entire stretch of Wilton Drive, from the Middle River in the south part of the city to Northeast 26th Street, where the roadway ends. Okay, the next slide, please. Second construction project is a traffic calming project on Northeast 15th Avenue between 26th Street to the north and the city limits, which is the Middle River to the south at Collahatchee Park. It consists of 3 raised intersections along the roadway, and also the addition of 5-foot new sidewalks on 24th Street, just east of 15th Avenue, west of 15th Avenue, all the way to Old Dixie Highway. This is a larger project than the other ones: earthwork, raised intersections, new sidewalks, curbing, ADA ramps, signage, pavement markings, driveway approach restoration, and landscaping restoration with a CBE goal of 35%. Okay, next slide, please. And our third construction project, this is a wayfinding program, which are basically signs that we're going to be placing throughout the entire city with a CBE goal of 30%. It's just mostly minor concrete and sign installation with some minor landscaping work as well. That's about it for that one. Next slide. And then we have one design project, which is a bus shelter project. Although there's no goal sign, I mirror what everyone else is saying about we encourage everyone to be looking out for these projects. This is just to review our existing bus shelters throughout the city. There are about 13 of them, and we would like to create a new design and brand for the city. So this is solely a planning project. Okay, next slide, please. And our one design project is Northeast 26th Street, starting at 5 Points or at Dixie Highway, going east to almost to Federal Highway, to our city line at the river, at the bridge right before Federal Highway. It's a $240,000 project, which is why there's no CBE goal, but same things apply. Everyone should look into this. We're looking to widen the sidewalks. They do not meet ADA compliance as of now. We're hoping to change that to go from about 4 to 7 feet wide is the design plan. And obviously there'll be some roadwork changes as well, lane width reduction, and all kinds of different surveying, mapping, engineering design. It's about a half a mile project. Okay, next one. And then we have 3 resurfacing and repaving projects throughout the city. We divided the city into 7 zones. We got 3 of them approved. This one, they're all pretty big projects. This is a $1.3 million project with a 40% CBE goal. So the standard site prep, saw cutting, milling, removal, disposal of asphalt, replacing asphalt, construction of new asphalt areas, and pavement markings and site restoration. And the next two are just different zones throughout the city. So let's go to the next one. The same 40% goal for zone 2. This is a $1.65 million project. And then the third one is the next slide, or fourth zone is a $1.4 million, and again, a 40% CBE goal, same type of project. These 3 projects cover 3/7 of the city, so almost half of our city. And those are our 8 projects. And the next slide, I think, has some information about procurement. Darren, did you want to just
Yes,
cover
sure,
this?
I would. Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the City of Wilton Manors, I would like to thank you for allowing us to be part of the MAP program and participating in this surge tax project with Broward County. All our projects, you don't have to be registered with the city to participate, but we encourage you to go onto our register and register. This allows you to get first-hand information on when we are posting our projects so you can participate. We normally post on our city website and in the Sun Sentinel, and as well as a Demand Star. You will definitely find our bid postings in all those 3 mediums, and you can also look out for the posting at that time. We encourage everyone to participate, be part of the Wilton Manors family, and we look forward to seeing you in our bid openings in the coming future. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Darren. I just wanted to say one more thing because I saw people putting in the chats. Our 3 construction projects do not require CEI. Those have been covered through a different area, so we don't need CEI for any of those. I just wanted to clarify. That's it.
Thank you, Todd, and thank you, Darren, and thank you, Wilton Manor, for coming today and sharing your projects. Thank you to all 4 of our cities for coming and sharing your projects. And before we move into my remaining slides and get to the Q&A, and I see that my cities have been responsive and answering your Q&A. We are going to get to a survey that I want you to do, but I want you to make sure you're truly connecting the dots. The cities are also telling you about their procurement portal. You heard about Demand Star. We have on our website the list of all the cities and all of their portals. We respect the fact that many of you are small. You don't have a lot of administrative services. But because of that, we're getting the information from the cities and we're putting it on our website. The cities have their own information on their website. Each of these cities gave you their contact information today. And again, this presentation will be posted 48 hours after today on our website. As you're going through this process and you're beginning to identify which projects sound like you got to go back and reread this information, the type of scopes they're looking for, the industries they're looking for. Some of you asked questions about the NAICS codes. You saw that they were introducing, based on the project, the actual NAICS codes. The idea is to make sure as you gather this information, you don't let it sit dormant. You take this information and you use it when these bids hit the street. Remember, we've already given you the teaser 8 months ago or a year ago. If you got the newsletter last night, if these are projects we reviewed, and they are, you saw them the last 3 to 5 weeks in my Wednesday newsletter. Every Wednesday evening, we have the hot tips and we have the map surtax session that spells out the projects in the city. I'm saying that because as we go forward, I don't want any of you to miss opportunities that look and sound like you. Use the resources. Customer satisfaction survey, I never want to wait till the end. I want to make sure before my crowd goes away, you do the survey. I need the survey. We need to know how we're doing. We need to try to find out if we need to do other things better and not just through surtax, just as an office. So please take the 5 to 10 seconds. It's technology. Click the spots or the circles. Let us know what you think and turn that survey back in. But understand we're here because of my community relations and outreach division. These are the folks. Savika for Surtax is my lead to make sure that we're working with our cities, make sure that we're sharing information with all the business community. Nicole Francis is in my shop right now, exclusively working with my cities and their projects and the goals and the reviews. Once the projects begin, we're actually going to be monitoring those projects. The MAP administration team gives us all the support we need as an office. Let's be crystal clear. MAP administration gives us all the support we need as an office to service our cities and to make sure the information we're receiving from the cities find its way in advance to you as small businesses. So folks, we want to continue this process, but I need to get to a point by this time next year, as projects have started, some potentially coming to completion, I want to roll out that data. I want to be able to demonstrate that you are bidding, you are participating, you are winning. That benefits you and it benefits the county, and the productivity for the project benefits each of our cities. So don't miss the point that the cities are sharing with you now. What's going to come out in the bid, you should be studying what they said today to see if it's something of interest and then following their procurement process. So again, we're going to leave that survey up for about another 10 to 15 seconds. My community relations and outreach division, they're responsible for technical assistance, creating workshops, meet and greets. As the county begin to do more projects, not just Surtax, we're going to make sure we can put you in front of user agencies, just like we do with the cities, as well as prime contractors on bigger contracts who also must fulfill a goal by working with our certified firms. So again, all of our information is also on our website. Next slide, Savika, and you can remove the survey at this time. And we just want to make sure, as we again thank our cities, that as individual businesses, you recognize, because somebody had that question earlier in the chat, we are facilitating and administering information. The cities are doing their own procurement. They're sharing information with us in advance so that we can make sure we can share the information with you as well, but do not miss the point. They have their own procurement portals. Do not go looking into my procurement portal for the official bid from Wilton Manors, from North Lauderdale, from West Park, from Miramar. Do not look in Broward County's Periscope S2G, formerly known as BidSync, for one of those 4 city bids. Yes, I'm giving you tips. Yes, my newsletter gives you information. Yes, we tell you about the projects. That's in my newsletter. The only bids that will come out in Broward County's bid portal, Periscope S2G, is going to be Broward County map bids, not the cities. So be clear, they're here. Many of them showed you who the contact is in procurement, and they all told you what portal they're actually using. So with that,
Awesome.
I'm thanking you. Savika's going to take over, and we're going to see about questions and other stuff.
Yes, thank you, Sandy. And thanks for some of those reminders. We're going to go into a Q&A or a question answer right now. I have all of our speakers right now, so we're going to go through some of the questions. I know that we have responded to some of them as well in our Q&A section, but I think it's important that we say some of these aloud because they are very important and I think they're going to be relevant. One thing that came up as well is we spoke about NAICS code, your industry code. If you are a certified business with our office, what you need to remember is that's how we're trying to search for you, whether or not you can participate on one of the upcoming projects. That's how we're sending you, for example, these events, projects that the municipalities let us know about. We're trying to do a direct email even to you and contact you. So we want to be sure that your industry code is reflective of the services you actually do. So in order to find out what industry codes as well is paired right now to your firm, you can go to our website at OESBD. I think I have our website as well in the chat. You can open our CBE directory, recently updated, very looking fresh. So just check your industry codes, okay? If you need help with industry codes, you don't know which ones you're supposed to use, that's where I come in as well. You know, that's where our team, our MAP team with OESBD, you've spoken with Nicole before, that's where we can help you. So check out your industry codes, what's on your directory as well as ours, and be sure that it is reflective of the services that you provide. In addition to that, in the chat, I have put on the link to receive our newsletter. Sandy spoke about that. So every Wednesday around 6:15 p.m., you get our business assistance newsletter with almost a week in review, all updated information, the bids that are coming out, the things to just pretty much all the hot tips that you want to know. All of our cities are letting us know before they're going out to bid. So they give us the heads up, we're giving you the heads up. So be prepared. And that's why you want to be sure to sign up for our newsletter. In case you haven't been receiving it, reach out to me as well. Sometimes there's spam filters happening. We can try to resolve that as well. Okay, so I did want to mention that before we go to some of our Q&A. The first Q&A that I want to say is a great question. Someone, I believe it was Jose, asked, how can I find out about where these projects are happening? And if you have not already gone to the Mobility Advancement Team website, you need to go. They recently launched their dashboard app, and it's an application that really provides a snapshot of all of the approved projects, where they're located in Broward County, how much the project estimate is, as well as the services and the scope of services that are needed. So I have put that in the chat. It's in the Q&A, but I can include that on the email that I'm going to send out to all of you as well. So the other part of that is the Mobility Advancement Program website. That is also in the chat, and I'll include that all for you guys as well. So keep putting your questions in the Q&A. We're going to get to those right now. So Sandy, I might start with you first. Did you answer any questions that you feel everyone else should know about?
Ooh, I'll just say yeah to one, because the other one we did try to make sure we responded. One of the questions, and actually I better switch it because you already addressed the question about the NACE code. But someone did just ask a question regarding certification. So please remember, the cities and the county are a team for the MAP program. Cities have committed that they would work with the small business program of the county to make sure that for eligible projects, eligible contracts, we'll use certified CBEs. You can only be certified as a CBE by Broward County. So the first answer to the question, do I need to be certified with Broward County? Yes. You need to be certified with Broward County, but if you heard me earlier, the advantage of being certified with us, you not only get to participate in MAP with all the cities, you also get to participate with MAP with Broward County, but you also get to participate, if you choose, in all Broward County's procurement. So even if it's not MAP, if it's something I'm doing at aviation, transportation, parks and rec, government facilities, highway and roads, even if it's not MAP. So to answer the question, you must be certified with Broward County, even to be counted as a CBE in one of the cities. Second part of that question, you heard some of the speakers tell you if they also have a preference by which they want you to register in their program, or as you heard Miramar start off, they look at our directory for certification. They don't certify anyone. They're telling you on the front end, I want to know who you are based on being vetted by the Office of Economic and Small Business Development. Tell me you're certified with them. But folks, I also don't want to get certification mixed up with registering. Even if you certify with me, you still got to be a registered Broward County vendor for free. So you still need to register. Even if you certified with me for the CBE participation, you know you got to look for bids from those cities on their bid portal and not mine. So we don't want to be confusing. The city and the county are on the same page that they want to set aside project opportunities for CBEs. Please get certified with us. But you also, if you want to bid in West Park, if you want to bid in Wilton Manor, if you want to bid in Miramar, if you want to bid in North Lauderdale or any of the other cities, you have to register to follow their bid portal. So that part I wanted to make clear.
And to that, Sandy, we have actually put together a list. I put some of it in the chat, but a list of all of our cities and their procurement portals. This is where just reach out to me and I can send you that list. It's a list with all of our municipal contacts for Matt Broward projects in addition to their procurement platforms. So let's go into some questions right now. What I'm going to do as well for attendees that are on the line that maybe don't want to type their question in the Q&A, feel free to raise your hand. I have enabled that feature as well. So raise your hand. I'm going to unmute you. You can ask your question live as well. But let's go to West Park first. West Park, I believe we had a question for you in regards to, is there something we need to do in regards to certification to participate on specifically West Park projects?
Oh, no, it's a great piggyback behind Mr. Sandy Michael McDonald. And no, West Park does not require registration. We're going to look to make sure you are registered, certified with the county, or county, we partner with the county, but we don't have any additional requirement to be certified with the city, no.
Awesome, thank you. So another question was, how will procurement for each Matt Broward, also known as surtax project, be handled? Will it be managed by the city, the county, or the state? Who's handling the procurement? And I'll put this one to Sandy.
Okay, and I do remember seeing that question. So for Broward County's projects, our projects are going through our procurement portal, which is formerly known as BidSync, is now called Periscope. So you need to be a registered Broward County vendor. And if you register through your NACE and the scopes of your business, you will get the bids when they hit the street. Wink, wink. You'll also hear about the bids coming up through that Wednesday night newsletter. I always tell my small businesses, if the first time you hear about a bid is when the solicitation comes out, you're late. We get this information for real in advance. Let's be clear. We never say that our information is 100% accurate, and I don't give you a date. But when you read that newsletter, I get to tell you, I just reviewed this project from the county's transportation division. I just reviewed this project from Miramar. This is the project, this is the review, this is the goal that's being assigned. Be on the lookout for this project. Folks, as soon as we find out, this is what we do. But that project will eventually find its way to BidSync, now known as Periscope, when it's the county. When you see it then, you've already heard about it. You've already attended one of these workshops we just had today. You've already done your homework. Now you're ready to actually submit your application based on that information. Cities, to answer the rest of the question, cities are doing their own procurement. The county doesn't want to do the procurement for the cities. We wouldn't dare try to take over their day job. They know their procurement better than us. So the cities, each of these four presenting today, the four that presented previously, and all my other cities that are participating, they're doing their own procurement. So again, and I'll be done, I know you're a small business. You don't have the administrative staff to focus on 31 cities and all their projects. You saw the list of what we reviewed. You're supposed to look at that list, identify projects, determine which ones sound like you, and based on your own capacity, decide which city or which cities you want to begin to target right now. And that's going to change as more projects come. And I'm not limiting you. If you have capacity to go bid on all 64 from the cities that I reviewed, from 13 different cities, more power to you. But if not, be strategic about it. Make sure that your capacity allows you not just to participate in bids, but strategically advantage you to potentially win some bids. So I will say to you, do not try to go out here and overindulge where you end up missing an opportunity because you couldn't focus. Savika?
Thank you. I have another question. So a few of these projects, it didn't have an assigned CBE goal. So then how do we get involved? And I'm going to give this one to Miramar. Karen, would you like to take this one, Dr. Hollis?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Savike. In the chat, I did say several times, and then during our presentation, Leah also mentioned, just because it does not have an assigned goal does not preclude any business from responding to the solicitation. We actually encourage all businesses to respond to any and all solicitations for which they are qualified and capable, thank you, Sandy, to handle. Because one of the things in our study, and the reason that we have, it is impossible. We understand as a minority business and a small business, you sometimes do not have the capacity to keep up with all of the things. The reason we have a registration at the city of Miramar, you have to become a registered vendor. These tools are in place to assist you and make it easy for you. Because once you register as a vendor, when we release those projects, they will automatically be sent to you via email. You won't have to continue to release and follow our email and our website, although we encourage you to do that. There's a lot of other great information on those portals. But once you register as a vendor with the city of Miramar, you are essentially saying to us, these are the goods and services that we provide. When we as a city are procuring for those goods and services, you will automatically receive an email notification. Because one of the things that our disparity study said is that giving information in advance, that's why we love partnering with Sandy and Savika and Broward County. It's huge for minority businesses. That's a huge barrier. That is a barrier that we are seeking to make sure we eradicate. That's why we're doing these things. However, once that solicitation is released, just like Mr. McDonald said, you responding timely, that's not a barrier. You showing up to the mandatory meetings, that's not a barrier. So as he stated, once the solicitation gets released, it's a little too late if you haven't prepared in advance. And what we're seeking to do with these processes is prepare you in advance. Don't get deterred by the no participation goal. It does not preclude you from responding to any and all projects that you're capable and qualified to respond to. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Karen, for that. And that reminds me as well to remind everyone else again, our Business Assistance Weekly, our newsletter. That is one of those, just tools, tips, tricks, so that everyone's busy, and this is why we do it once a week, this newsletter, so that it has the snapshot of information that you need to not miss out. Okay. Follow us on social media. I've put our handles in the chat box as well. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube. A lot of the times we'll live stream events on there as well, but at least you can stay engaged with us. So now I have a question, and I'm going to put this one out to Mr. McDonald. Broward would like to know how to get certified.
How to get certified. Easy way to get certified, broward.org/econdev. That's our website, broward.org/econdev. That's short for economic development, just for the heck of knowing. You can go there and go to certification, and you can read everything about the CBE program. And it tells you what the criteria are to be eligible. It tells you what the criteria or the thresholds are not to be eligible. And the application is online. So you can complete the application online, upload all the necessary documentation, and you can shoot that into us. You're going to give me 30 to 45 days, and we're going to certify you. If we got questions, we're going to come back to you. So you get certified by going online to our website and completing that information if you meet the criteria that you read. Remember that old school thing when you had the toys when you were a kid? Before you try to assemble, they say read all the instructions first. I say the same. Go to my application, read the instructions first. It's not a lot. Read the instructions first. And then if it sounds like you, fill out the application. Broward.org/econdev.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sandy. At this time, I'm going to remind our attendees, feel free to raise your hand if you would like to ask your question aloud. We also have Nicole Francis, who is our Small Business Development Specialist. Nicole, I have unmuted you as well in case you'd like to share any information with our audience today.
She does, she does, she does. Right, Nicole? I can't hear you.
She got lots to say, and we'll share it later. I also want to open it up, though, as well, while Nicole may be joining us in regards to saying something. Our panelists and our cities, do you guys have anything else that you would like to add, anything that you've forgotten that you wanted to mention to our attendees today? No, you guys covered it all. Well, you did a great job, and we are so very thankful for your participation today. Sandy, did you have anything else? I wanted to share our contact information as well for everyone and remind them all that you will receive a link to this recording, the presentation slides as well, about 48 hours after today, okay?
But I do want to put another one of my colleagues on the spot. If you want to end up putting the screen up, I do, and I would like for Miss Gretchen Cassini, or MAP administrator, on behalf of the cities as well as our participants, to hear from Gretchen. So Gretchen, you can unmute yourself and say hello and say anything you would like to say if you're still with us. Let me see if I can see your box.
She is. I was trying not to put people on the spot, but.
Oh, yeah, I love that. It's a game show. I'm putting them on the spot. Gretchen, are you in a position to talk?
They may not have microphones enabled at the moment.
Oh, Nicole says she's not sure why we could hear her. Me neither. And maybe the same things happen with Gretchen. So maybe that's technology. Maybe they get off easy today. Maybe they do. But let me say before we really close out, I am thankful to the cities. I'm thankful to the MAP administration. I'm thankful to a group of folks who are truly committed to not just getting their projects done. As staff, that's their day job, to get their projects done. But I can honestly and openly say this. The more and more I'm meeting and working with these cities, folks, they're committed to the small businesses in Broward County. They acknowledge, and we all recognize, 89% of all the businesses in Broward are small, not by SBA standards, 1 to 500 employees. Our 89 are small, our 89% is small, like 20 employees or less. As a county, we know we are a small business county. And can you imagine what happens if the business in Wilton Manor is working on a contract and some of the employees just happen to live in Fort Lauderdale? If there's a contract in Margate and some of the employees just happen to live in Pompano, if Miramar has employees who work for an asphalt firm over in Sunrise, if we're spending the county dollars to improve projects throughout our cities, and we're trying to make sure some of the funds stay with businesses in our city. And the thing about those businesses in our city, some of those employees live in our cities, so that the money they get to take home helps to pay the rent and the mortgage, go to the grocery store, go to the gas station. Now we're coming out of COVID, begin to do more leisure. Folks, that's an economic impact of turning dollars in our own community, stabilizing and growing us. That's the intent. If Broward County over 30 years is getting ready to spend the short side of $17 billion with a B, why not make sure a percentage of that stay in our community, grow some of our businesses with scale to become larger and employ more individuals who also live and work in Broward? That's the intent. That's the economic development model of this small business program, using as an initiative surtax, MAP, Mobility Advancement Program, and it does nothing but get bigger as we grow into that day when the county starts dealing with rail. So I want to thank the cities again for participating. Thank each of the certified small businesses and just the businesses in general who may have been on this call. Certainly reach out to us, use our links, challenge us. Make sure the things we say are accurate and true, but continue to work with our office, with our teams, and with these cities who you have heard are advocating on behalf of small business. So with that, Savika, I'm done. If Gretchen and Nicole's microphones didn't cut on, I'm done.
And I don't think so, Sandy. So I think we're going to wrap it up for today. Thank you again to all of our panelists. Thank you to our attendees today. And again, it's not over here, right? This is the start of it. So any questions, you want any information, feel free to reach out to us. And that's what we're here for. We're here definitely to support you in this process. So thank you again for joining us.